Hi everybody, I'm Patrick Dockery. In my life, I have worn many hats and tasted many flavors. As I travel the world, I explore the finest cities in search for culture, history, and great food. Along the way, I get to meet today's most interesting celebrities, focusing on the positive side of life, allowing them to share their causes, charities, and what truly fascinates them. We cook and dine with some of the finest chefs of our time, preparing healthy and delicious meals in some of the hottest restaurants. Also, we showcase the latest, most creative, and hippest trends of beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. I pursue my passion for health and fitness and acquire some of the most innovative wellness strategies. And now, I want to share this all with you. So come along on this amazing journey, and together we will experience a world of health, beauty, and life. On today's show, we visit the home of American and country music's most famous stage, the Grand Ole Opry, where we go backstage and walk in the footsteps of country music's greats. Then we head to the birthplace of rock and roll, Sun Studios, where we learn how this still working studio changed the landscape of music in America forever. Next, we meet with Hollywood beauty, fitness, and lifestyle expert Donna Spangler to prepare a gluten-free chicken delight. But first, let's grace the stage where legends are born, the Grand Ole Opry. For over 85 years, the Opry has attracted country music's biggest stars. As the Opry grew in importance, so did the city of Nashville. The Opry's membership is a who's who of musical legends and is Nashville's #1 attraction. Well, hi everybody. Today we're here at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee with our wonderful tour guide, Jessica. How are you, Jessica?
I'm great. How are you?
Well, it looks like we're starting right on stage here at the Grand Ole Opry.
We are the most famous stage in country music. We've been open since 1974 here at the Grand Ole Opry House. The piece of wood in the circle is the most famous part of our stage. This was taken from the Ryman Auditorium, which is considered the mother church of country music. So you see that we have pew-style seating here. It's because we're modeled after the Ryman. The Ryman was a church before it became a venue hall, but everyone from Patsy Cline to Hank Williams Sr. has performed on this circle of wood right here. So the barn is usually stationary. It's been the backdrop for as long as I can remember. Of course, you see you've got 650 WSM, which is the radio station that broadcasts the Grand Ole Opry. We're the longest running live radio show in the world.
Wow.
We've been on the air since 1925.
When they come here, they can see all different types of music.
They can see all different types of music. Yep, country, western, bluegrass, gospel. We've got sometimes a little soul. You know, we have guests that come.
Sure.
Let's see, Lisa Marie Presley performed here last year in August. She made her debut. Jack Black has performed on this stage.
Wow.
Even Lassie has given a few barks into a microphone before.
Well, that's amazing. Well, I know we're going to get to see the backstage, kind of get behind the scenes here, huh?
Behind the scenes, see the green room, all the intimates in the dressing rooms.
Well, let's go on and do it.
All right, sounds great.
Jessica, so this is the artist entrance, huh?
It is, but the most important part of the walkway is the fountain of the little girl down there at the end. That was given to us by Miss Sarah Ophelia Colley Cannon. Now, that was her maiden name.
Quite a name.
But she's known better by a stage name, that being Miss Minnie Pearl.
Oh my gosh.
And it stayed in her garden until she passed away in 1996. And then it was given to us here at the Grand Ole Opry House. Now we're just gonna head right through these doors, just like the artist would.
So Jessica, this is where they all enter in, and this is the first thing they see.
They are greeted, yes, by this gentleman here with the fiddle. This is Mr. Roy Acuff. And this place is considered the house that Roy built. He had a lot to do with getting the Grand Ole Opry show its 6th and final home right here. And Roy always opened every Grand Ole Opry show and always closed every Grand Ole Opry show while he was alive. This place was so important to him. And he was usually the last one here and the first one here, but his commute for the last 10 years of his life wasn't too bad. It was only about 3 minutes because he actually lived on the property here.
So that really was his house out there?
Yes, that really was his house that you saw, yeah.
Wow. And then we have somebody else over here who is very, very important to the Grand Ole Opry, which is Miss Minnie Pearl, right?
So they are greeted by Minnie Pearl and Roy Acuff as they enter the Opry.
Good company to be in.
Yes.
Well, Jessica, when they first come in, the artists, they come here and check in for security, right?
They do. We have an attendant over here to your left that checks them in, that gives them their dressing room assignments as well. And then if they're members of the Grand Ole Opry, after they check in, they'll come over here to the right.
Mailbox.
To their mailboxes, yes.
Okay.
This is where we put any fan mail that we get here at the Grand Ole Opry House.
Wonderful.
And they are in alphabetical order with one big exception, and that's mailbox number 144. It belongs to our oldest Grand Ole Opry member. He's also one of the longest running Grand Ole Opry members, and he's only 4'11". It's little Jimmy Dickens.
Oh, there you go.
He's a gem here to us at the Grand Ole Opry. He turned 92 in December.
Wow. Okay, so this is one of the dressing rooms, and it says Into the Circle. What's that about?
Yes, each of the dressing rooms has their own unique theme, and Into the Circle is dedicated to the debut artists that come here to the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, first timers.
Yes, first timers.
Start at this part of the hall and move their way down, right?
Exactly.
So do all of them have a piano like this?
Not all of them.
Okay.
A lot of them do. We actually have 18 dressing rooms.
Okay.
They're numbered 1 through 19 because we're a little superstitious, so they left out the number 13.
Oh, yeah, like in some hotels. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of them have pianos, a lot of them have guitar amps, you know, because the artist will just jam before the show in their dressing room. And of course, each of the dressing rooms, it has its own decor, the different photographs.
Got some pictures of some of the newer people, like you say.
Exactly, Darius Rucker right in the middle there.
You go. Well, this one says Cousin Minnie.
It's dedicated to Minnie Pearl.
Oh my gosh, this is a big one, huh?
It is. It's actually my favorite, and I hope you'll see why.
Well, let's go on in. Go ahead, I'll follow you. Oh wow, you got all the flowers and everything in here?
Exactly. The light piece is very unique. It's all ironwork. It's the only one like it at the Grand Ole Opry backstage. This one, actually, the Opry square dancers use a lot.
They do. So they do use this one?
Yes, they do use this one. We have square dancers every Saturday night Opry show.
Well, Jessica, I noticed this says number 1 on it.
It's Roy Acuff's dressing room.
Oh, the main man.
The main man, yes. This room is always left open because Roy Acuff had an open door policy while he was alive. So during our tours, you know, a lot of the guests, they don't really get to go into the dressing rooms, but this is one that they do.
Well, let's check out what Roy's office is like.
Okay, let's go.
Got some great pictures on the wall, some older ones.
Yes, some older ones when he was younger, early on in his career, and of course, older as well. There's one with President Ronald Reagan right there in the middle. Also, Roy taught President Nixon how to yo-yo on our Grand Ole Opry stage.
Wow.
We opened here in '74. Nixon actually came for the opening of this building.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, Roy has a lot to do with the Grand Ole Opry. He loved this place.
And then right outside of here is where the green room is, right?
Yes, right over there.
Let's check that out too. So this is the actual green room, and I can hear him doing a sound check out there. It's just right behind the stage.
It's right behind the stage. We're very close.
It's nice. It feels nice and new and great in here, and this is a really inviting place for the artists to hang out.
It is.
Jessica, thanks so much.
Oh, thank you for visiting us.
What a wonderful tour and what a wonderful place.
Oh, thanks. It is full of rich history.
It is. But I hear some music playing out there. You got to get out there. We're behind the stage now, aren't we?
It's live music at the Grand Ole Opry.
Well, let's do it. Come on. Oh, and one more thing. Thank you for being with us here at the Grand Ole Opry. And until next time, just remember to enjoy. And we'll see you later. Let's go. Stick around. Our next stop is Sun Studios. Welcome back. It's time to rock and roll at Sun Studios. Well, everybody, today we're here in the world famous Sun Studios, and we got a great tour guide here. Not a tour guide, but you're going to tell us a little bit about the history and everything.
Sure, I love it.
Your name is El Dorado.
El Dorado Del Rey.
I love that name, man. I love that name. So you've been here a little while, so you know a little bit about the history, huh?
Yeah, I've been here 13 years.
13 years? Okay. But that studio's been around a lot longer than that.
Oh, yeah. This Sam Phillips opened the studio in 1950, and then he started his Sun Records in 1952.
Okay. And they call this place the birthplace of rock and roll. A lot of people do.
Oh, yeah. Many historians consider the song Rocket 88 to be the very first rock and roll song. It was recorded in 1951 by Ike Turner and his Kings of Rhythm. It actually came out under the name Jackie Brinston and the Delta Cats. That's a long story. But this song, it had all the elements that would come together and make rock and roll, the 4/4 beat, 8-bar blues structure. Plus it had a fuzzed out electric guitar, which would become the mainstay of rock and roll.
Absolutely.
And it's about chasing chicks in your hot rod car.
It's all about rock and roll, right?
That's right.
Well, now, and then, everybody associates this studio with like Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, the big names.
Well, first, Sam Phillips, he was really into blues music, and he focused on people like B.B. King. This is one of the very first places that B.B. King ever recorded. Howlin' Wolf, guys like that. And then Elvis came around in '53 just to check out the place and do a song supposedly for his mom. And then a year later, Sam Phillips would ask him to come back and actually officially record in 1954. Once Elvis came here, he did That's All Right, and that kind of blew the doors open, and that brought in Carl Perkins and Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis, and Roy Orbison.
Yeah, some big names. So, and they recorded right here in this actual room. And the crazy thing is, you know, up to, you know, nowadays even U2 came in here, right? Bono came in.
Right. They did part of their Rattle and Hum album here. They actually teamed up with B.B. King, one of the very first people to record here.
That's amazing. Now,
the room itself is largely unchanged from the 1950s, so it's kind of
feels like
a cool time capsule.
Kind of the vibe going. I know that front office there, it's like got all the stuff from the 50s, right?
Right. Well, a lot of this is from the 50s. The amps, the microphones, and in fact, we use a lot of this stuff because, as you were saying, we're an active studio.
Yeah.
We're not really a museum. We're still a studio. We record people at night after the tours are done.
Wow.
And in the last year, we've had Chris Isaak and John Mellencamp and just tons of artists.
So it's going on here still at Sun Studio?
Almost every night.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Eduardo, we've had this mic sitting in front of us this whole time, and there's a little significance to this mic. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this mic actually came from Sam Phillips' private collection. It's one of the actual microphones used here in the studio in the 50s, and most likely used by Elvis Presley.
Yeah, all of them, huh? Came in here and hit this front, but especially Elvis.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we noticed it was down, right?
Right.
You said you can't let your mic droop.
No, you can't let your mic
So what do you got to do? Show us how you do it.
You gotta hold it like that. You gotta kind of lean into it.
Ooh. With a little attitude.
Yeah, you do it.
The people like coming in here and they like going, I love you very much. And they pretty much come in here and take pictures with this.
Yes. That's one of the highlights of the tour. People
probably this one in Elvis's hands right here.
Right on.
You gotta love it. Well, you know, you have photos hanging up in here as well, and this one was kind of significant. You got some pretty big hitters right here.
Oh yeah, this photo is known as the $1 Million Quartet. You've got Carl Perkins. He was actually in here recording that night.
Wow.
This is December of 1955. Then you had Jerry Lee Lewis, who at the time, he was unknown, but he was just about to break. And he was sitting in on this session. They had hired him to play piano for Carl Perkins on this one song.
All right.
Elvis walks in. He's been in California.
Right.
He's already a huge star. He just stopped by to see his old buddies. Sam Phillips knew the recording session would go nowhere. Called up a buddy at the newspaper, asked him to come down here. Then luck would have it, Johnny Cash showed up.
Wow. What a night.
Got in the photo. They took the photo, and being the wild guys they were, they started jamming and they recorded it. And now it's available as an
amazing.
album.
Things happened back in those days, huh?
Yeah.
You never knew what you'd get just hanging out in Memphis, huh?
Yeah, right on.
That's beautiful, man. Well, walk us through a basic tour. So when they come in, they get in the gift shop, they get started, it's every hour. What are they going to see as they go through the tour?
When they first go on the tour, they will go upstairs into our gallery where we have stuff on display. And then we play them songs as examples of different artists, and we also play them outtakes from some of the sessions.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's real cool. Do you have any websites where the people can go and check all this out?
Sunstudio.com.
Sunstudio.com? Awesome. Well, thanks so much for having us in, Eldorado.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here. And until next time, just remember to enjoy. Coming up next, Hollywood beauty, Donna Spangler. Welcome back. It's time to meet best-selling author Donna Spangler. Hi everybody, today we're here in Beverly Hills with the gorgeous and talented Donna Spangler in her home. Thanks for having us.
Well, thanks for coming.
And this is a really nice place you have here because you're right by all the action of Beverly Hills. Wow.
I know, I can walk just down the street and go to Rodeo Drive and all the great places that are in Beverly Hills.
What a life you have.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and you know, it all started out, I guess you were in Playboy, is that correct?
I was, yes.
Yeah? Yeah. And how was that experience for you?
It was really fun, actually. I mean, I was in my 20s and it was actually a good experience, and I'm glad that I did it. I've moved on from there, but it was really fun. I did a lot of interesting things, met a lot of interesting people, and have things to tell my my grandkids.
Well, yeah, and
if I ever have them.
Well, a big part of it too was that, you know, being that you were in the bikini and all, you were into fitness quite heavily, and you were one of the earlier people that realized the importance of fitness.
Yes, I actually, right now in the last few years, I've been more into fitness, but I was always into the body conscious ways and fitness ways. I was always conscious about what I ate, how I looked, because during that time, being a Playboy model, which I did, I went out for bikini things and that sort, you had to look good.
Absolutely.
And so I had to stay fit and focused, and you're absolutely right about that.
And there's a lot more that you've done. You're also an author, and you wrote an amazing book. And what's the title of that book?
How to Get a Rich Man, The Princess Formula.
That's right. The book was so popular that the women in other places want to find out, what's your formula? And what is your formula? Tell us the basics of what that book is about.
The basic is that you have to treat yourself well and take time for yourself, and in order to get the best, you have to make yourself the best. Right. Treat yourself well.
And it's wonderful that you've had all these experiences. You know, you've lived the LA lifestyle, the Beverly Hills lifestyle, and now you're able to share that with others, not only in your book, but you also have a blog that you do.
Yes, donnaspangler.com. I have a blog. I write for LA Splash, and it's a glam thing.
That's a glam thing, right?
Yes.
Well, and part of that is, like you say, taking care of yourself and being able to take care of your man as well.
Absolutely.
And part of that's cooking, and you have a recipe you want to share with us that's one of your favorites, right?
Yes, this is a gluten-free chicken nugget recipe.
Which I love the gluten-free,
yes.
We know that.
And I got it from Iowa Girl.
Okay, good old Iowa Girl,
Yes.
Midwestern, yeah.
Yes, and it's very high protein, it's very tasty, and I'm going to get to it and show you how to cook
Right, it's pretty easy to make too.
It's very simple.
Okay, well, let's get on over here and get started.
Okay, coming up next, it's time to get cooking with Donna. We're back, whipping up some simple and delicious treats in Donna's kitchen.
First thing we need to do is select 3 chicken breasts, good size. I have them here. We cut it into bite-sized pieces, so you cut them up.
And the good news is you've already pre-made this because it has to be marinated, right?
Yes, the ingredients have to be marinated for
That's what's here.
a few hours. So I did this last night. So I have 3 ingredients. I have pickle juice.
Good old pickles.
Pickle juice.
And these are these dill?
Those are dill.
Very good.
And low-fat milk and an egg.
All right.
So what
Pretty
you do,
easy, right?
It's very simple. Okay, so it's a 1/4 cup of the pickle juice, 3/4 cup of the milk, and 1 egg. And you just stir it up and mix it up. You take your chicken pieces and you throw them in there, and then you let it marinate for a few hours, or if you want to do it overnight, you can do that. Okay.
And then these are going to be gluten-free, so we're using a gluten-free flour type product.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I have this gluten-free flour here. It's all-purpose.
And then you're going to season that, I guess.
The seasoning that go in here, black pepper, salt, and powdered sugar.
Wow, that's
However,
interesting, powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar, because you want a little bit of a kind of a sweet twang to it. But I also sometimes use this substitute, and this is from a monk fruit.
Okay.
So I've tried this, and this is good too.
Oh, good.
So take a piece of chicken and
Okay, so to
bread
get
it up.
chicken, get a little of this, just throw it in, couple chunks or whatever.
around, get it all nice and breaded.
We're not using our hands. You could use your hands if
Oh
you felt
yeah.
like it.
We have our beautifully breaded
Yes.
chicken pieces.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And then
I'm here to help, you know? Oh, there it is. That's right. That's the right temperature. You want it to sizzle when it hits in there, don't you?
yeah.
So, Donna, I noticed they're starting to get brown now. So what are we looking for when you're doing this?
We're looking for a nicely brown piece of meat.
Okay.
Some people like it a little less brown.
You like it kind of really
I
brown?
like it a little brown.
Okay, cool. It's kind of like mini fried chicken.
Exactly, it is.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is mini fried chicken.
And then you're using the white meat, which is a little leaner, of course. And then in this case, we've got the gluten-free aspect, which makes me happy. Because, you know, I can't go to any place and get fried chicken because it's all gluten. But making it at home like this, there's an option. Then I get my fried chicken fix. And then use the healthier oil, which is nice as well. And
Yes.
there you go.
You got it. So now you see,
Yeah, it's cooked all the way.
it's done.
Absolutely.
So we
And there's some lighter ones and some darker ones.
exactly.
Wonderful.
So we have tastes for everybody.
Okay, good. And now I get to try this delicious recipe.
All right.
Here we go. I'm just gonna pick it up, and I mean, this does look really nice. Here we go.
What do you think?
Man, they're really good. The pickle! I can taste the pickle juice.
Yeah?
It's so good. Good job.
Right on.
Not only are you gorgeous, but you can cook. Amazing. That's part of the game plan, isn't it?
Yes. Thank
Well,
you.
This was so amazing and so easy to do. Wow, the sugar, I could taste that too. That makes a big
I
difference.
know, it's good, isn't it?
I love it. Thanks for sharing it with us.
You're welcome.
And I mean, this lady has a lot to offer. And you know, thanks so much for being with us. And until next time, just remember to enjoy.
Okay, welcome back. Thanks to all of our guests on this week's show. To the Grand Ole Opry for inviting us to its hallowed halls of country music's greatest stage. To Sun Studios for sharing its world-famous rock and roll history. And to fitness and lifestyle expert Donna Spangler for having us in her home and preparing for us a quick gluten-free treat. Until next time, just remember to enjoy.